Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Monday, and it's another happy Monday after another Arsenal victory in the Premier League. Not the prettiest, but a 1-0 win nonetheless against Watford. They got there in the end, should have been a far more comfortable win. But yeah, we all know Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang had a bit of an off day, missed a penalty, missed a very good chance in the first half that ended up Bukayo Saka scoring, and that was ruled out for offside, but had Aubameyang made a better first touch, and he would have had a tap in, and then he robbed Odegaard of a goal in the second half where he tapped in a shot that was going in anyway and was ruled offside. So a bit of a day to forget for the Arsenal captain, but they got the win nonetheless thanks to that goal from Emile Smith Rowe 11 minutes into the second half. And it's 10 games unbeaten in all competitions for Arsenal. Now 8 unbeaten in the Premier League. They are 5th in the Premier League now, just 6 points off leaders Chelsea. What a remarkable turnaround it has been after those horrible first 3 games when Arsenal were rock bottom of the league. 3 games, 3 defeats, no goals scored. I think it was 9 goals conceded, wasn't it? It's been a remarkable turnaround. The players, Arteta, the coaching staff, the fans deserve big credit for that, because I think the fans as well have made a real big contribution to this winning run, an unbeaten run that Arsenal are on, both home and away. The atmosphere has been fantastic, and I thought they did it again yesterday, dragged them over the line when they needed their help, and got the job done. So I thought, obviously I did the player ratings video, you've seen that, I imagine. If you haven't, then check it out. So I won't go over my ratings today, but I thought I'd talk a little bit about the game. Certainly some of the things to sort of take from the game, and I wanted to start on Arsenal's centre-back partnership, Ben White and Gabriel. £75 million Arsenal spent on these two. There was lots of question marks, certainly about the transfer fee for Ben White in the summer, £50 million for him from Brighton. Lots of talk about that. Have Arsenal overpaid? I mean, I'm looking at it right now and I'm thinking it's 75 million well spent by Arsenal. Gabriel, 25 million, just an absolute steal for me. He had a fantastic start last season when he came in, was player of the month for the first 3 months, and then he had that little bit of a dip, got injured, he got COVID as well, and his form certainly suffered, although I thought by the end of the season he'd come back in, he started to find his best form, but he's just been fantastic this season. Arsenal missed him during those games when he was injured at the start of the season, when they lost all those matches. He's come back in and just looks a giant of a centre-back, and you've got to remember, he's still so young, Gabriel, and he's still relatively inexperienced at senior level, and he's just been fantastic, I think. And him and Ben White have just got this partnership going now that looks so good since they've come into the team after that first international break and after the close of the transfer window, with Aaron Ramsdale coming in, Tommy Asu as well. They've just looked so solid. They've formed this rock-solid base at the heart of Arsenal defence. They've had 8 games in the Premier League since then. They've kept 5 clean sheets, only conceded 4 goals. Arsenal unbeaten, of course. And it just looks like a really solid centre-back partnership that could well end up being the bedrock of Arsenal's team for a long while. Yes, we've got William Saliba that we all know about, who's over in Marseille. Can he fit in? That's a question for next season now, because he's obviously staying in France for the season. But in terms of White and Gabriel, you know, Arsenal have needed a rock-solid centre-back partnership for a long time, not since Koscielny and Mertesacker have Arsenal had one. And it certainly looks like they have one right now. I mean, Ben White yesterday was absolutely fantastic once again. I've just seen, as I was starting this video, I saw it flash up on my phone, a notification that Ben White had just been given the man of the match as voted by the Arsenal fans. Obviously, Ainsley Maitland-Niles got it on Sky Sports. He got my one as well, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, in my player ratings videos. But I can absolutely understand why Ben White has been voted it by the Arsenal fans. Just such an excellent performance from him. I just want to get the stats up, because I put them out last night. For Ben White, he had the most touches, 101, most passes, 81, most clearances, 6, most blocks, 3, most interceptions, 2. It was just an absolute all-round performance from Ben White. I mean, he's very unlucky not to be credited with an assist for the goal as well, because let's face it, he made that goal for Smith Rowe with that driving run out from the back. I mean, he didn't quite get the last touch because a defender sort of came in and tackled him, and that's how the ball broke to Smith Rowe before Smith Rowe scored. But it's in all other areas, that is an assist for Ben White, although he's not actually going to be officially credited with it. And it was just an all-round performance from a player who's getting better and better. He got hammered after that Brentford game, really unfairly. Really, yes, he had a difficult night against Ivan Toney, but Arsenal were all over the place in that game, and everything that had gone on in the build-up to it. and he got absolutely hammered so unfairly. Everyone immediately picking on him and the price tag, and the way he's responded to that, the way he's settled down, and now he just looks like an absolute Rolls Royce of a defender. And the fact that him and Gabriel are now forming this partnership together is just really, really encouraging. And that's what, if Arsenal are going to be successful this season, they need those defenders to stay playing as well as they are playing at the moment, because that gives you the solid base to go on and get wins, because Arsenal aren't exactly free-flowing at the moment. You know, we don't score loads and loads of goals. That's pretty clear. Obviously, again, yesterday it was just another 1-0 win. They had chances, didn't put them away. And so you need, when you're not scoring absolute hatfuls, which Arsenal aren't, they're not like a Man City who are going to go and score 5 every single game. You need a solid base, and Arsenal haven't had that. But with these two now, they really do, and it is really, really encouraging to see. And Mikel Arteta, understandably, absolutely delighted with him. And how on earth Ben White is not in the England squad, I have got absolutely no idea. Tyrone Mings, what? How is Tyrone Mings possibly at the moment getting in the England squad ahead of Ben White? I mean, what is Gareth Southgate thinking? I can't believe Emile Smith Rowe's not in the England squad. He's the most in-form attacker England have got at the moment. He's not in it. Ben White's not in it. I don't know what's going on with Gareth Southgate at the moment. I mean, Connor Cody, you seriously going to sit there and tell me that Connor Cody or Tyrone Mings is in better form or is a better defender than Ben White? Absolutely not. Madness from Gareth Southgate, but who cares? It just means that Gabriel and Ben White are going to be able to spend the next 2 weeks together, training, working together day in, day out at London Colney with Mikel Arteta and the coaching staff, and making that centre-back partnership even better. So as frustrating as I imagine it is for Ben White to not be involved, for Mikel Arteta, I bet secretly he's pretty delighted about it, because it just gives him more time on the training ground to work with him and Gabriel. Let me know what you think of it all. Do you agree with me? Is this the best Arsenal centre-back partnership for years? How good could they be? Let me know. Hit me up in the comments below. I'd love to get your views on it all. Okay, so a few more tidbits to come from yesterday's game. Claudio Ranieri, not a happy man after the game, accused Arsenal of lacking respect over the incident that led up to the goal when Arsenal didn't give the ball back. I can see this one two ways. I mean, if it happened the other way round and Watford had scored, they hadn't given the ball back, I think Arsenal fans, everyone would have been annoyed about it. But I think at the end of the day, you just got to be switched on and not, Watford, you can't expect everyone to give you the ball back. Normally it would happen. It didn't in this case, but let's face it, the guy wasn't injured. He was getting up. It was just a case of Danny Rose, I think, kicking the ball out of play because he knew that they were under a lot of pressure, Watford, and Arsenal were pretty much deep inside the penalty area. And it wasn't a head injury, anything like that. It just felt almost like a tactic to relieve the pressure from Watford to kick the ball out of play. So for Ranieri to sit there and cry about it afterwards, just thought, grow up a little bit, man, and accept responsibility. The goal didn't come straight from the throw in. You cleared the ball, you lost the ball. So just accept it and move on. Don't sit there and make a massive scene out of it. So I can see it both ways to say. I mean, Mikel's speaking about it yesterday, said, I have to defend my players, my team, my club. I would say that we are the most honest of all of them, and at some stages we can even become naive. But still, if it feels like that towards our club, I have to apologise if that's the case. But for sure, there wasn't any intention to take advantage. When he was asked if it was just a misunderstanding, he said, I don't know. I focus on the performance, what we want. I want to talk about what we did, and we deserve completely to win the game. I don't think anyone can say Arsenal didn't deserve to win that game. I think Watford are extremely lucky that they kept 11 players on the pitch in that first half. How Danny Rose didn't get at least... Well, he should have been sent off, plain and simple. I mean, he could have got sent off for the incident that led to the penalty. It was an outrageous challenge. Totally endangered Lacazette. Ploughed into him, forearm in the back of the head, pretty much. He could have got sent off for that. He didn't even get booked. And then he made other fouls as well, which could have got him a yellow card. He wasn't even booked at half-time, which was pretty remarkable. So Ranieri was very fortunate in that regard that he still had 11 players on the pitch in the first half. So Arsenal could feel quite justified to be unhappy with the situation as well. So I think you just got to accept it, I'm afraid, if you're Ranieri. Yes, he's frustrated. Yes, he's lost the game, but don't make a big scene of it like he did, and accept responsibility and admit your players messed up a little bit as well in the build up to it. So don't sit there and accuse Arsenal of lacking respect, because I really don't think they did. In terms of a little bit of sort of injury news, housekeeping ahead of the international break. Kieran Tierney will be heading off to Scotland. He didn't play yesterday. He was on the bench, back fit again. He was involved in the sort of the substitute warm down game that they do after when Mikel Arteta and the players are doing their press duties. Who've been on, you see the substitutes all come out. I mean, you guys wouldn't see this, but they all come out and they have a pretty decent training session out on the pitch for about half an hour, 45 minutes. They go through some shuttle runs, and then they have a game, which pretty high intensity game, sort of small sided match we see. And Tierney was heavily involved in that, so he will be available. Mikel saying Kieran is going away with Scotland. He was training inside the stadium, and he will go with Scotland. We're not sure about Thomas Partey yet. Now, Thomas Partey missed the game with it was tight groin, wasn't it, that Arsenal said. Now, Ghana have got two really important games coming up, and the first of which is on Thursday. Now, my understanding, a firm decision hasn't yet been taken on that, whether he will link up with Ghana. Conversations are continuing between Arsenal and Ghana today to decide the best outcome. I mean, these are two big games for Ghana. They understandably want Thomas Partey to be involved if he can be, but Arsenal understandably want to try and protect Thomas Partey and ensure that he does not aggravate the problem anymore. Arsenal got a big game at Anfield after the international break, and you would want Thomas Partey involved in that. Now, I thought Ainsley Maitland-Niles played very, very well yesterday. He got my man of the match in my player ratings, but you want Thomas Partey playing at Liverpool after the international break, and you don't. If you're Arsenal, can absolutely understand why they would not really want Thomas to go away. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. Keep an eye on my social media. If I hear any more on that, I will let you know. But as it stands, conversations continuing between Arsenal and Ghana over what should happen with Thomas Partey and that injury. People close to Thomas Partey yesterday saying it was more of just a precaution that he wasn't playing. So hopefully that is positive news, and that he's it's not a real serious one, because you don't want Thomas Partey out for a long time, because he's just finding his best form again. He's part of that spine that has become so integral to Arsenal's success in the last couple of months in terms of Ramsdale, White, Gabriel, Partey, all of those players making a big impression. And you don't want Thomas just to finally start hitting his top form and then get another injury. So fingers crossed on that one. Okay, before we go, I just wanted to talk a little bit about top Arsenal and the top four. It seems mad to even say this, given where we were just a couple of months ago. But fifth in the table, 6 points off the top. I think only 3 points off the top four after that wonderful win for West Ham against Liverpool. Oh yeah, happy Invincibles Day for yesterday. Everyone, I forgot to mention that lovely gold trophy once again, only going to be proudly on display at Arsenal for another season. No one can match that incredible record from 2004. Always a good day, especially when it happens this early in the season. You don't sort of get to January, February, and you start to really get worried if someone is unbeaten. So great win for West Ham yesterday. Fair play to them. Fair play to David Moyes. What a fantastic job he is doing there. I think Arsenal are 3 points behind West Ham now, who occupy one of the top four places. But you have to say, at the moment, the way things are going, Arsenal have given themselves a really good chance. They're playing well, they're not conceding many goals, they're scoring goals, they're winning games, and that's a good recipe for success. And if you can keep doing that, then you're going to be in and around the top four spots, which would be a big, huge achievement, in fact, for Arsenal if they could somehow manage that this season. My personal opinion on it is still, I think they're going to come up short in terms of the top four. I think it would be a really big leap to go from where Arsenal have been the last two seasons to suddenly be in the top four, especially when you think of all the upheaval that's gone on, the massive changes. But you can, if you give yourself an opportunity, then you've absolutely got to go for it. I think you're looking at, I think we all know that Manchester City, Liverpool and Chelsea are going to be in the top three, and so that's going to leave one place up for grabs. Man United are a bit of a mess at the moment, but they've still got a very good squad. You do wonder if Ollie gets the boot, which could happen at any point. I don't know how he hasn't yet, but if he does get the boot and they get a better manager in, then they've got a very impressive squad to work with there. And you would think Manchester United are still probably, this is a team that finished second last season. You would probably think they've got the squad capable of making sure that they can get that fourth spot. But then the form that West Ham are in at the moment, the momentum they've got, and I think they've got a really good team. Whether they've got the squad to go through the whole season, especially when you're involved in the Europa League, that's another thing. So that might be something that catches up on West Ham at the moment. But when you actually look at their team at the moment, they've got a very good goalkeeper, got a really solid, powerful defence. They've got two excellent midfielders who sit in front of that back four who protect it. They've got three tricky attacking sort of playmakers behind a fantastic forward in Mikel Arteta. So when you actually look at the straight team that West Ham have got, if they can keep that going, then they've got, they're going to give themselves a chance of getting there, because they are winning games, they're scoring goals and not conceding many. I just wonder, a few injuries, and then you might start to see West Ham starting to tail off a little bit. It almost feels a little bit like Leicester when Leicester went on and won the title. though a few seasons ago, wasn't it? You were kind of waiting for them to drop off, and they never actually did. And West Ham, you never know, they could do that. But the one issue is, as I said, is that Leicester just had the league to focus on week in, week out. West Ham haven't. They want to do well in the Europa League. They're doing well in that, but that might eventually catch up with them and take its toll on what isn't the biggest squad in the league. And so you look at that and think, if United continue to be a mess, if West Ham start to drop off a little bit because of injuries, then Arsenal got a really good opportunity here. They've got a lot of momentum behind them. They've got a good squad. They've got a very solid back four now. They've got an absolute top quality midfielder in Thomas Partey when he's fit, and then you'd hope they've got enough about them to score goals, because you've got Smith Rowe, who's just sensational. He was brilliant again yesterday. As I said, he's England's most informed attacker for me since the start of September. Smith Rowe, 4 goals, 2 assists. No other English player has got as many direct goal involvements since then as him. How on earth he's not in the England squad, I have no idea. And if you've got him in that sort of form, Bukayo Saka in decent form, you've got Lacazette and Aubameyang who can score yourself some goals. Odegaard hopefully to come in and, when needed, to really play well and create. Then Arsenal got to give themselves a chance. That Liverpool game's going to be really intriguing after the international break. Can Arsenal go there and do something? Because they never do at Anfield. They always get beaten badly at Anfield. If they go there after the international break, and Liverpool have dropped a few points recently, the home game against Brighton, the defeat against West Ham, can Arsenal take advantage of that and go up there and put in a performance on the back of this unbeaten run that really makes people stand up and think, you know what? Arsenal have got a chance here of doing something this season. If they can do that, the momentum they could build would be huge, because they've got a really tricky period. This period between now and New Year's Day, when they play Manchester City, is going to go a long way to sort of telling us about exactly where Arsenal are under Mikel Arteta. They're on a great run of form at the moment. We've got some tricky games coming up. You've got Liverpool, then you've got the home game against Newcastle, then it's away to Manchester United, away to Everton on Monday night. It's sort of game where Arsenal would always struggle away and under the lights at Goodison Park. Then they've got Southampton, then they've got West Ham at home just before Christmas, then Leeds away, Norwich at home at Boxing Day. And you look at those games, they're tricky. They've had a nice little run at the moment at Arsenal, and they've done well. I mean, they've picked up some good results in that run. Certainly Leicester away, Tottenham at home, but they've got some really tricky games coming up, and it's going to be intriguing to see how they deal with that. It's going to tell us a lot about where Arsenal are under Mikel Arteta and whether top 4 is a possibility. Like I said, in my head, I'm still thinking this season, get yourself in the top 6, get yourself back into Europe, small steps, and go from there. Continue this rebuild, but if you give yourself an opportunity at top 4, then you've got to go for it as well, even if it is maybe a little bit early in the rebuild and what Mikel Arteta and the hierarchy probably talk about behind closed doors in terms of how they want to get Arsenal back competing. So let me know anyway, what should Arsenal be aiming for this season? Is top 4 a possibility? Do you think that, or are you a little bit more like me and thinking maybe top 6 and then have another good summer transfer window and go from there? Alright everyone, it's a bit longer this video. Sorry if I've rattled on a little bit, but just thought, I'm in a bit of a good mood at the moment when it comes to Arsenal, so why not have a bit of a discussion about it. Thanks for watching everyone. Let me know what you think, and anything that you agree with, disagree with in this video, hit me up in the comments below and I will go through them and see what you guys have had to say. Have a very good Monday everyone, have a good start to the week. Enjoy looking at the league table. I'll speak to you soon.